Hey guys, Breakman117, welcome back to the channel and part 8 of my latest ultimate build, the Banished anti-aircraft gun. As you can see, I've amassed quite a selection of pieces for this gun now. The most recent part of the build, part 7, was completing the actual gun itself. This thing does all sorts. It's got lights in it, it's got moving sections as you can see here, to open up to act as vent flaps for when the gun is fired. It's also got sections here that lift up and all sorts of crazy detailing in and around this gun. So if you missed out on that and you want to see it with the lights on, be sure to check out part 7 of the build. What I've done since then is I needed to just build up this section here a little bit and also complete something on top of here, a lid that I can take off so I can access the interior. If you want to see the interior in more detail, I suggest you visit the channel and just go back through the build series and watch the whole lot, and then you'll be up to date with everything that I've done so far. So as I said, along with the gun, there's details everywhere on this, even down to the legs. So what I'm going to do in a minute is we're going to move this main body section over onto the display table. We're going to show you the lid that I made there, which has also got lights in it. Show you that with the lights on, and then we're going to add the legs onto the build, and then we're going to cap it off by putting the gun on top and showing you what it looks like. And so the main change that I've done here is relatively subtle, but I've just built up this section here and also put a little bit more detailing across here. I've also built up this area to act as basically a platform for this main lid to sit into. So it drops into these two sections here, and it also clips on at the front here. These bits here aren't supportive, they're just to stop you from seeing down into the interior of the control room once the lid section is on. Other than that, all the detailing from the outside is pretty much as it was previously. So if we move on to the lid section, this bit was pretty tricky because it's an awkward shape, plus it had to be super strong to take the weight of the gun on top of it. So I basically came up with this design here, which does fit in rather snugly. I'll show you in a minute. But as always, I couldn't help myself and went over the top and did some interior detailing as well as some lighting. So you can see I've got the battery pack here, which you don't really notice when it's all placed onto the mock. But I just wanted to give this effect here because it just makes it look a bit more finished than all these anti-studs you see around here. When it's actually on the mock and you look up through here, you don't tend to see anything apart from the bit that I really want you to see. Well, the other thing that I've done since you've last seen this is I've just put these sections here, which you'll recognize those from the actual main set. They give the actual main body or the control room of the gun a much better shape. Obviously I've still got the stands here for now, just until I finalize everything with the legs and decide what I'm going to do to replace those. So putting this lid on is really easy because I wanted it to be nice and simple to take on and off. So basically on the front here, this section here, just that one anti-stud there and this one anti-stud here, just clip on in here and here, and that's the only thing that actually locks it into place, stops it from moving. That and the actual shape. On the back here, this cutout here sits around this piece here, so you should be able to just drop the front in, clip that in either side, and then the back just plops back into place there, and it's just the shape of it holds it really locked in and really solid, and it is super strong. There's a big hole in the middle because the gun goes over that, and I didn't want to waste pieces covering that up when there was just no benefit to it being covered up. Not to mention the fact you can just grab it to lift it out whenever you like. So as you can see from above, you get a pretty good idea of the shape, and it makes it look relatively tidy. It was never going to be perfect with these angles along here because these pieces just don't agree with this angle, so I had to do something to compromise that to just give it that relatively tidy look. So there we go, that's the main body. So now let's put some legs on it. So when it comes to putting the legs on, I tend to put the two rear legs on first, and they go on, if you haven't seen it before, there's just these holes here and these two bars here slide into there. So I don't know how well you'll see this with the camera at that angle, but you basically just lift the main body up slightly and these just slide in, and then they pretty much take that weight. So there's one, and the next one on. And then once the back two legs are on, you can put the front leg on. And then you've got your three legs. So now all that's left to do is put the actual main gun on top, and then we'll show you it with all the lights on as well, I think. And there we have it with the gun. That looks pretty cool. I'm pleased with that. Let's open some of these flaps up. As you can see, venting flaps for when the gun fires. Get these up. Yep. That's looking pretty good. So next up for the build is the power cells that go on the end of the legs here, which I've started building, but I'm not happy with the design at the moment, so I'm just having a little play around with that. Obviously there'll be one on each leg that will come up just to make that look a bit more complete, and then after that it's the actual stilts, which again you've got two stilts coming out from underneath here, which will elevate the gun even higher by about another 6 inches. I'm not sure if I'll be actually completing those stilts until I've figured out what I'm going to do with the terrain that this gun is going to be placed on, so I can create the diorama for all the sets that are going to go around it. So if you just give me a minute, we'll turn the lights on and we'll show you what it looks like with those interior lights for the actual control room and the actual main cannon lights on as well. And there we go. That's what it looks like with its lights on. So there's more lighting to come yet. There'll be lighting in the power cells as well, and I may even put some lighting underneath it as well to illuminate the underside of the MOC once it's finished. But I am very, very pleased with that. Let's take a look inside. You can see the hollow table there, looks great with the lighting on it. And I'm really pleased with how this lighting has worked out inside. As you can see, combination of red and clear bricks there just gives it a really nice effect. The interior is not finished yet. I've got all the detailing to do inside, but I didn't want to use any parts for the interior until I'd finished the rest of the MOC, so that would be one of the last things that I do. I'll add a bit more detail in there, just finalize things a little bit more. There's the armory through there, which you can see in another video. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this has worked out so far. And obviously it looks absolutely ginormous. You could probably tell when I was placing that gun on exactly how big this thing is, but if we put a little ghost down there, you can really see how ginormous that is. And that's your lot for part 8. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.